In several videos, we've used this visual aid when discussing the major scales and major keys. It definitely comes in handy. It's used widely in music education, and we call it the circle of fifths. We give it this name because each key is 1/5 away from its neighbor. It's a wonderful tool for organizing all the major scales and keys in one simple visual aid. The layout of the circle helps us remember our major scales and understand their relationships to each other. At the top, C major is written, the only key with no sharps or flats. Moving clockwise, the leading tone of each consecutive scale is added, thereby adding 1 sharp for each step around the circle. G major, for example, has 1 sharp, F sharp. Moving 1/5 higher, we end up in D major, which keeps the F sharp from G major, but also adds a C sharp. Moving up a fifth again to A major, we keep the sharps from D major, but add 1 more sharp, G sharp, and so on. Moving counterclockwise from C major at the top, we add 1 flat for each position in the circle, starting with F major, which uses B flat. For each key 1/5 down, you lower the 4th scale degree. So down a fifth from F is B flat. Its 4th scale degree is E flat. B flat keeps the B flat from F major, of course, but adds E flat. A fifth down from B flat major is E flat, adding A flat to the key signature, and so on. You might have noticed that the new flat for each consecutive key moving counterclockwise in the circle is the following key. Remember this to help you check your work. The circle of fifths helps us remember the order in which to notate the flats and sharps in key signatures. The B major key signature, for example, starts with F sharp from G major, then C sharp from D major, then G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp. To write these sharps in a different order would be incorrect. This goes for the flats too. The circle of fifths also helps us to identify closely related keys. You might be wondering, what are closely related keys exactly? Well, despite being a fifth apart, 6 of the 7 pitches in F major are the same as B flat major. The only difference being that F major uses an E natural and B flat major uses an E flat. Yes, their tonic pitches are a fifth apart, but otherwise almost all the notes are the same. Modulating from one key to another, a fifth apart, is much more natural than, say, modulating from C major to F sharp major, and it's easy to see this lack of relation on the circle. Basically, the closer keys are on the circle of fifths, the more closely related to each other they are. You may have heard of Jacob Collier's super ultra hyper mega meta Lydian scale. This concept that Jacob devised uses the Lydian mode to cycle upward through the circle of fifths. How does this work exactly? Let's say you start the scale on G flat, but you perform the super ultra hyper mega meta Lydian in perpetuity. Eventually, you would work all the way around the circle of fifths to F sharp major. The Lydian mode employs a raised 4th scale degree, which, in context of the circle of fifths, can act as the leading tone of the following key moving clockwise. Let's look at an example. If we start on C major, but raise the 4th scale degree, F, to F sharp, you've essentially created the 7th scale degree, or leading tone, in G major. If you repeat the process and raise the 4th scale degree of G major, C, to C sharp, you end up tonicizing D major. Do it again and you add a G sharp and tonicize A major, and so on. If you play this all as one scale, you eventually work your way clockwise around the entire circle of fifths. Likewise, you could use a similar type of Mixolydian scale to do the opposite, moving counterclockwise around the circle by lowering each consecutive leading tone by a half step. The circle of fifths can come in handy in other ways too, from identifying relative minor keys and all the notes within the major scale itself. It's definitely worth memorizing it. If you have any questions about the circle of fifths, please leave a comment below. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your musically curious friends. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications every time I post a video. Thanks for watching. I hope my videos bring you closer to understanding the music you love.